The House Select Committee investigating pandemic-related fraud is holding its first hearing today. Here's a live look at the Capitol. A government watchdog group says almost $5.5 billion in COVID aid might have been paid out to fraudsters. And Joe Khalil is on Capitol Hill this morning. Just a shocking look at some of the ways some of this stuff was used. He's got a preview of today's hearing as well. Good morning, Joe.
Yeah, good morning, Mitch. And we know that there has been fraud, people taking advantage of these pandemic-era loans and what have you. But today what we're going to learn is really the extent of that, this important House Oversight Committee hearing. And you're going to get some News Nation exclusive reporting about the number of identity thefts committed related to pandemic abuse. What do this brand new Lamborghini, this beautiful seaside villa, and this lavish party all have in common? You, the taxpayer, paid for all of it. Court documents and public records show all of these luxury items were the fruits of fraud, bought and paid for with PPP loan money, the pandemic-era loan program meant to keep businesses afloat.
We want to know what's the extent of the waste, what has this administration done to try to claw back any wasteful spending.
Jim Comer, new chairman of the House Oversight Committee, will focus its first hearing later this morning on fraud related to the pandemic. Comer, in prepared remarks obtained by News Nation, will say, quote, "We owe it to the American people to get to the bottom of the greatest theft of American taxpayer dollars in history." A recent report suggests the government misspent billions on people trying and succeeding in scamming the system. That includes $5.4 billion to small businesses with ineligible Social Security numbers.
At the very least, hold people accountable for misuse of taxpayer funds.
And a News Nation exclusive. We've learned the Oversight Committee will reveal abuse of the pandemic has also led to the highest level of identity theft in history. Data News Nation obtained show before the pandemic in 2019, 650,000 cases of identity theft reported. Fraud related to government benefits only made up 23,000. But in 2020 and 2021, identity theft ballooned to nearly 1.4 million cases each year. And more than 800,000 of those combined directly attributed to fraudulent pandemic-era government benefits.
Buying luxury vehicles and watches and vacation homes when parents need that money.
The Department of Justice has had an eye on pandemic abuse, but Republicans on House Oversight say there's been a complete failure of accountability. So whether it be a new $1 million home in Mississippi or Rolexes in Houston, pandemic abuse has been an increasing headache for government watchdogs. Congress now hoping to get a full accounting and turn the tide.